Hey, what is going on? GoreAphobe here. First thing I want to do is apologize for going so late. I had not intended on going late. Um, I would have just rescheduled and done it earlier, but I've been doing it so much the last week or so. I just haven't been feeling very well at all. Um, but I'm here, and I'm going to give it my best shot. And we're going to check out a kick-ass early slasher from 1981, My Bloody Valentine. Just kind of work with me. I'm going to kick some ass. um, But yeah, I'm tired of rescheduling. I'm tired of all that bullshit. So we're gonna do this tonight. My bloody Valentine. This is basically the slip, deluxe of the slip, and then here is the most complete, my favorite version, which would be right here, where it has a couple of really good documentaries and the first ever special edition that was released with the director's cut on it. I do believe, yeah, I do believe this has it. Like it's the first one ever released that had all that extra footage on it, and that's what we're watching tonight. We're watching the unrated version. So, hey, what's up, Jerry? Thanks for coming. Hey, Ninja, how's it going, man? Yeah, you guys, man, I've been feeling like such crap the last week or so, but I'm gonna give this my best shot. We're gonna have some fun checking this film out. Um, yeah, just started rescheduling shit, man. So I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just gonna go for it, see how it works out. So, yeah, I go way back on this. I remember seeing this for the first time when I was, well, what, 8 years old. This was early on. This came out the same year as Halloween 2, and God, oh my God, the whole line about this. The video that I've been working on, as a matter of fact, my best top 10 of 1981. I did my top 5 of 1980. I tried to do that for 1981, but it's just impossible. Still working on that, wanting to put it out, and I'm going to as soon as I possibly can. I just got a lot on my plate, and like I said, I've been sick for like the last week or so. It's like I either feel tired and I don't have any energy, or my stomach is killing me and I don't have any energy. So take your pick of what's the lesser of the evil there. But yeah, another kick-ass Canadian horror film, man. But Canada doesn't get enough credit for how kick-ass the horror films are. All the way from things like shit, Prom Night and Terror Train to Cronenberg, all his shit, all his early shit, to My Bloody Valentine. How are you guys doing this evening? What's going on, Jerry? You notice the pink theme I'm going with here. I got as pink as I possibly could for Valentine's Day, and then the red bandana. So I'm rocking the Valentine's Day a whole week early. A week from today is Valentine's Day. Of course, can't do it on Valentine's Day because I have a fiance, and those days are kind of saved for them, right? Oh, watching and shopping. Shopping for what? Should I even ask? I can about imagine. Oh man. Oh. That's one thing I didn't see why. That's one thing about the Scream Factory versions. I didn't see why they didn't rock out a couple of these kick-ass documentaries on it, like Bloodlust. One especially made for My Bloody Valentine, My Bloody Valentine and slasher film. And then another one, Bloodlines, which is really cool. It's almost like it's almost together like a family tree of where this film came from this film, this film came from this film. You know what I mean, all the way down. It's a couple of really cool ones too, and I understand why they didn't port those over. And some of those things where Paramount didn't allow it or what. And you guys hadn't checked out Henry yet. Well, I know you guys have, but anybody else hasn't checked out yet because with how late I go, I get most of my watching in the rewatch. So all you guys in the rewatch, if you haven't seen Henry yet, go check it out. And I apologize to you guys that you didn't get to make it live because I'm up so damn late. But at least I'm here. So if you guys are ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This has got so many kick-ass things about it, man. I think as far as early slashers and shit like that, early '80s slashers and shit like that goes, I think story-wise, it just totally rocks it out, man. You got a who, you know what I mean? Because I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't sure that it was, with the way they was playing it off, I wasn't sure that it was, Harry Warden to begin with. Um, you know, I kind of got this vibe of a who done it from the very beginning. Speaking of, hold on. But you guys can see this in the background, but here's the man right here. He's not known as Harry Warden. Not for anybody like that. He's just called the Miner. Very cool, very cool. Um, Speaking of that, Jerry, do you know? Do you know when we're supposed to be receiving our Stevie Wayne? I know it got held over, but shit, man, we got this shit before Christmas. Did they say something about March or something like that? Yeah, something about March or some shit. I do believe it was March. Let's see here. Let me check something out here over here. Yeah, 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 yeah. February 11th, 1981. So 3 days before, so 3 days before Valentine's Day. Uh, here, see here. Yeah, this is probably one of the most censored horror films of that era. We didn't get an actual version of this, an actual decent version of this until when? Shit, man. 10 years ago, maybe? When it first came out there? Uh, I think it's funny that they have out the rock band and shit. Oh, mm, man, and you can't blame. You know what I mean? I mean, you can look at it several different ways, right? This whole thing here, you can see why going after his buddy's girl wasn't exactly a cool thing, but at the same time, he'd been gone for a while. Um, she is quite cool. Um, he left her heartbroken. Didn't even tell anybody where he's going because Axel's like his best friend, right? Axel's TJ's best friend. Doesn't tell anybody where he's going. Doesn't give anybody kind of explanation. She needs a shoulder. Things end up happening. Next thing you know, they're together. So at least he doesn't come back with an attitude like that right away. So it's like. However, when he comes back, all of a sudden just wants to take his girl back. You know what I mean? It's kind of tough. It really is. It's kind of hard to call, isn't it? Love that 67 or 68 from. Absolutely love it though, man. Valentine love. Yeah, this was actually shot in Nova Scotia, and the mines they got together. They found the mine, and they got all together. And then when they went there to shoot, they found out that it was all cleaned up and shit. It didn't even look like a mine. It was so clean. So then and it was supposed to be an old mine that had been shut down for a long time. So you know what I mean? So then they had this clean ass mine. That dude, man, I'm playing Hollis, Keith Knight. That dude was in a lot of shit in the early '80s too. He's the most recognizable actor in the movie. Yeah, Lori Hallier. I was kind of a crush on her when I was a kid. Now, Howard, I don't think I could have dealt with him for a long time. There's no way I could have tolerated that Howard. Because it's cool to fuck around, but god damn, you got to fuck around all the time. Nowadays, they would have just released it all as it was and just called it unrated. Back then, for some reason, I got extra pissy on this one, and there's worse than this. A lot worse than this. Look, of course, what they did in the '70s, what they did in the '80s was two completely different things. What you get away with in the '70s, you wasn't gonna get away with in the '80s. We're starting to crack down on that shit. And of course, you remember the '80s with the time of the PMRC and Tipper Gore and all them people trying to, say the movies were devil movies, heavy metal was devil music, and they were burning up records and all this kind of bullshit. And they're getting ready for the big party here. Like if I was TJ, I couldn't have went and hung out and shit anyway, watching the girl that I was all in love with, shit with my ex best friend. Maybe. Yeah. We're just over 9 minutes in. This one has holds so much nostalgia. We've known each other for years and years and years. Bloody good cheer. What happened? We'll keep you all near. Have a heart. Imagine this little ass town going through all that bullshit back in the day. How fucked up that would be. This guy here that plays the barkeep here, if you see Black Christmas, he's in that. He's one of the people that he's one of the guys that's running the guy playing Happy on this. He's one of the guys that's running around kind of checking on the neighborhood and stuff when they find out some shit's going on at Black Christmas. He's one of the weird guys at the door when they say, it's anything weird till you got here. Black Christmas is so good. But yeah, it's basically his job to tell everybody the old legend because all these kids here, they're not kids, but these kids here were basically really little when that shit happened. 20 years or something like that. I remember. Yeah, 20 years. Don't take long, man. We're exactly 12 minutes into it right now. We're already getting backstory, find out what the hell happened. This is just ridiculous what happened here. They just check on out, go and have a few drinks and shit, just leaving the dudes down there to fucking die, I guess. But you can see from the very first scene of this is the unrated version. So he takes her, he shoves her into the pickaxe, and sticks through. You know what I mean? It's that scene's extended already. And then here, when they're digging Harry Warden out of the mine, this scene right here is the way it usually went. But then they stick in this other where he's sitting there munching on this arm, and he's just like, wow. I've seen it in a few years. Still holds up. Oh, it definitely does, man. It's got a love triangle and everything else going on it. Holds up very well. But didn't you get the idea? I mean, did you feel like it could possibly be Harry Warden the whole time? I mean, I remember seeing it even as a kid. I remember seeing it thinking, it just didn't fit that it would be Harry Warden. I know who it was, but I don't know. It kind of had a who done it all the way back then before I even, and then as the film goes along, it starts opening up, and the story starts opening up where, what I mean, where you're figuring out that he's not even really around it. But even then, I had a feeling it probably wasn't Harry. It's first of its kind. Um, I always thought Happy Birthday to Me, was kind of like this one, not nearly as good, but it's kind of got that same feel to it. Once once this one came out, a lot of the slashers stole off. But couldn't it have been a good villain? Could have been a good ongoing thing. I mean, it's best, standing alone as as a good standalone uh, slasher film, but they could have conceivably went along with it. What did you think that? Did you think it was Harry, or I mean, you didn't figure out who the killer might be? What it was or wasn't Harry, at least. King Becker did a really nice job on this one. Well, I'm actually surprised that they didn't announce the 4K for that this year. The way they're doing all the 4Ks and everything. It just somehow to me it just didn't fit that it was Harry. Oh man. Of course, those are terrible burgers. See, it's just the way they're going about it. You're like, I thought they locked him up. Well, they did. What, you know, you sure he's still there? You know what I mean? And then it's just they're making it. To me, they just made it really obvious. Pointing so hard at it being him that it had to be somebody else. I watched the new One Piece all the time. My mom was really into these too. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it, man. I forgot exactly how quickly they go into that, man. It's almost 18 minutes in, and Mabel's already about ready to fucking get killed. This scene, I love. Oh man, it's just too bad. I wish I could see all this extra shit as a kid. Like I said, I'm watching the unrated cut, and remember she's in there, and somehow, which of course, wouldn't happen once you open up one of those dryers. It stops going around. It should have stopped right there. But the only way to keep going is to get the finger on the button. It keeps going around, and she falls out of it, and she's going. Yeah, it's a cool thing. Good old fashioned laundromat. Damn. You even got that step that the washer is sitting up on, so that you're not bending over the washer. You just kind of standing, waist level at it. And then you got one of those big industrial washers over here, and then back to your back is all the dryer. She has a thing for the sheriff. Well, Mabel does. Jake. Yeah. Jake Newbie. Chief Newbie. Newbie. And violets are blue. One is dead, and so are you. Almost 20 minutes in. This poor old woman. She probably the sweetest, nicest old woman around. Probably in the whole damn town, you know. She don't understand why somebody be fucking with her. When I was a kid watching that, I remember thinking, why the old woman get killed? And I think about it because because she's the one putting together the party. She's putting together the Valentine party. Them old TV dinners. If anybody's out there watching this, those old TV dinners, I remember those fucking things, man. But they were completely tin. You know, they were in the metal. Nowadays, you get the microwavable containers and everything with a little piece of see-through plastic. But back then, they were in that tin, and it had like or aluminum or whatever, and it had like an aluminum foil cover over it. Hey, Juno, how you doing? I'm I'm muscling through it. Sorry, I'm making it so late, everybody. Once again, um, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it again tonight. I have not been feeling very good. But I didn't want to wait on this one any longer. Keep pushing, I keep having to push everything back because I just haven't been doing very good. I haven't been feeling very well. Push it back anymore. Valentine's Day is a week from now. I want to make sure I definitely get it in before then. Next Tuesday, I won't be doing anything because, of course, it's Valentine's Day, with my fiance and all. It's very best. Oh, it is. Oh, it is fantastic. And I just love the love triangle and everything. As far as storyline goes, man, this is probably loaded with more story than any of the early '80s slashers like that. You know, it even has its own song written for it. You know what I mean? Ballad of Harry Warden. Now you got the main character. He left to make it in music or whatever. I think he's a musician, and leaves his girlfriend there. And then and all these people are, they've grown up together. While he's gone, he falls flat on his ass, doesn't make it. So when he comes back, his girl that he's all in love with and was in love with him, that went to school, was together. I mean, together. Goes back, finds her, find now she's gotten with his best friend, and then a 20-year-old curse from the town is coming back to bite him on the ass. And now he wants his girl back. His buddy happens to like his girl a lot. They do not know why he was around. You know what I mean? He didn't try. He didn't. At least he did that way. He didn't try to get with her while he was still around. He'd been gone for a while. And they kind of used each other for his shoulder. You know, because he just took off and left. He didn't even tell anybody. Yeah, well, yeah, I think definitely. Look at the old TV dinner. Yeah, yeah, yes, he did. And that dude, the one playing Hollis, the bigger guy, that guy was in a lot of shit too back in the day. Yeah, Keith Knight, yeah, he was in a lot of shit back then. But as far as most of the cast, you just don't see in much of anything. You know what I mean? They're all the cast. They're all they're Canadian. Like I said, this was shot in Nova Scotia. So this is definitely a mainly, Canadian made film. I think all of it actually. Heard heard. Well, Class Act 84. Was he? Okay. Man, I have that too. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, so yeah. How you mean? I heard. You heard what? Remake fan, remake of this. Yeah. It's not terrible. Not horrible. Not one of the best ones, but not one of the worst ones either. Kind of somewhere in the middle. She's just like, yeah, I don't know. He's trying to find this shit out. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, well, I gotta find out. I gotta decide which one you want. No, it's not a question of which one she wants. Really, she's still in love with TJ. I mean, that's obvious. It's definitely unfinished business. Oh, okay. Well, there's so much on Valentine's Day, and everything. Even on the side of the even on the side of the Chiefs truck there, it's got a Valentine. It's got a heart on it. It's just a laid back job, ain't shit going on. This ain't but a couple streets, you know what I mean? Chief can even carry around his pipe. When was the last time dude had to arrest somebody? Probably a long time ago. But this is just, there's no crime rate here. Except for that shit that happened with Harry Warden 20 years ago. I, I think it's basically a cush job if you're a cop. It's one you don't hear a lot of people talk about not liking. You hear about, you see people going through the collections or whatever, you know what I mean? Their horror collection, horror DVD or Blu-ray collections or whatever. You don't hear a lot of people going through, but I don't like I've heard maybe a couple because I've seen a lot of collection vids, but for the most part, most people like this one. Yeah, it's definitely as far as yeah, there it is. It falls over there's one of those scenes that was not when I was a kid. These scenes did not exist. This is still not the full versions of it. Some of it I don't think could be repaired. I think there's a lot of it that could be repaired. How at least he doesn't play at work the whole time too. Oh, it definitely does. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I'm actually surprised with it being around Valentine's Day right now. I'm actually surprised that they would got the 4K for it. They're oh, in case you guys didn't see it, here's well, it's called the minor, but You basically heard it. Very cool. I don't call it the miner. I call it heroin. But the miner, it's a pretty cool name for a killer. Yeah, it had everything. I mean, and the mask that they use, it's not even, it's not Canadian or American. It's actually a Russian miner's mask. It's got a little bit different, you know, the eyes are a little more narrow. They got a little bit more of a sinister feel to them. But yeah, this is really nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Both of them. And the deluxe got both posters. Got the Harry Warden. If you remember correctly, I got the steelbook up there too. Of course, you guys seen that on my Screen Factory video. But actually, that's when the figure was released. In case you guys don't remember, the figure wasn't released with these and these posters. It was released with the steelbook and the lithograph. Yes, yeah. Oh, it's definitely cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's the one that's yeah. It's all that design there. That's actually a Russian miner's mask. He was going to use the American one and all that, but it just didn't have that sinister feel to it, I guess. This actually might be my last one for a little while. I actually might take a little bit of a break. Oh, I'm trying to get my health back together a little bit. Definitely is, definitely. Just the killer in general is scarier. He's got a much darker feel to him. And with the way that mask is, and the way that you got that, you know, the hose and everything, the breathing just stands out in it. Um, Almost 32 minutes in. Oh, how's it ever get to be so stupid? Yeah, I love that. It looks to be it's either 67 or 68 Camaro Super Sport. I love that car. The green looks good on. Yeah, it's got a different front there. I think that I'm not sure if that's 67 or 68 because I like the 67 and the 68 of the Chevy Camaro. If you remember correctly, it's got a car about like that, about like the same year. I mean, in Christine. What's his name? Buddy Ripperton. The one Buddy Ripperton drives. So he's gonna scoop her up and take her to their spot over the cliffs. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. It's only 81. You know what I mean? When the decades change, like the only decades I can really think of changed right away as soon as it switched, and it didn't change right away, but pretty close was the 90s, and that's just because of the Seattle thing. Yeah. There was so much difference between the 80s and the early 90s, music wise, and the whole look. You know, what I mean, you were from the 80s, with the big hair and the makeup, shit like that, the flamboyant clothes, to the 90s with with Nirvana and all those kind of bands, the flannel shirts and all that kind of stuff. It's such a difference. That, but between the late 70s and early 80s were very simple, very simple. So he goes off to the big city and falls on his ass and fails. And then comes back and just expects her just to go right back to him. Like life hasn't moved on here without him. You know what I mean? Like he's so arrogant that like life just couldn't have went on if he wasn't there, right? Like, TJ's not here, life just can't go on. Very, very arrogant. I guess he didn't fall on his ass bad enough for him to lose his ego. So I mean, you gotta feel Axel here because, like I said, Axel didn't do anything wrong. I don't think he intended on trying to get with Sarah. I just think that's just something that happened between the two of them. She was heartbroken. She needed a shoulder. TJ was his best friend. He kind of needed a shoulder too. You know what I mean? They both missing him as a friend and as his girlfriend. They just ended up hooking up. You know, it's just life. It's just the way shit happens. Yeah, but the '70s was so weird. Yeah, in the late '70s, you had mid to late '70s, you had so much shit going on, man. Like I said, you had the pop, you had punk, you know what I mean, and then you had your basic bell bottom, where it just you know that shit carried on into the early '80s, punk and the punk and disco and all that shit was they still tried to carry that on to the early '80s for a minute. They had trouble giving it up. Slim this movie. They were so caught up in that. Cisco and Evil were. They had that full specials here. If anyone hasn't seen that, it's on YouTube. They had full specials on it about how it was all about violence on the women. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember seeing those episodes. I remember seeing them whenever news stuff on a kid. I think Lori Hallier, Sarah is an underrated survival girl. I think she had a really good, clean cut look and feel to her. You know what I mean? She definitely had a girl next door feel to her. Yeah, I don't see how they could just say you can have no parties at all. It's like no, you're banned from having any kind of party. Dude, if I'm at my house and I'm gonna have friends over, and I'm gonna have a party on Valentine's Day. The hell can you do about it? I'm not allowed to have people in my friend's house and have a few drinks. I don't really see how they can do that. Give a shit if he is the goddamn mayor. I don't put those rules. I really hate people too. We're gonna have ourselves a party. Well, I love it in the subtitles. When people go, "Woo," it's just whooping, whooping. This is a good kill here. Happy, but I was wondering when I catch this kill. We're 38 minutes in. And this is the killing of Happy, the barkeep. At this point, you still don't know if Terry Ward or not. Like I said, I always had a feeling that it was somebody else. I didn't know who, but somebody. But I didn't, not like I said, I thought about it. By the way, Ninja, I'll, I'll have that out to you as soon as I can put my shit together, start feeling a little bit better. We'll stop and get that out. Do you not have a My Buddy Valentine? Howard's an asshole. Yeah, this dude, he is so bright. He's so happy with himself. He set up these little things to scare everybody. He's just so thrilled. He's so happy with himself. He's over there, you know. But remember, this is one of the guys that was running around checking on everybody in Black Christmas. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just feel like crap, man. I haven't felt good in a week. Oh, nice kill. They definitely didn't show that the with the eyeball sticking out and everything. You if you haven't seen this version of this ninja, you got to see it. He's gonna drag him along by his head. Right? Yeah, he's. Do you remember Black Christmas? Do you remember the two older guys that's running around? Remember uh, toward the end, right before Phyllis gets killed, right before she goes up to Mark Kidder's room and gets killed. Remember they see someone peeking up through around the windows and shit, and um, and her and Olivia Hussey go. They go so they go to the door and they open it up. And there's two older guys there, and they go, we're just checking to see if there's anything weird going on. And Phyllis goes, no, not till you guys got here. You know, he's one of those two guys. Happy the both. In this one is one of those. He's that guy. Yeah. Also, a Canadian horror movie, Black Christmas. Good Canadian horror film, man. Like I've rarely seen a bad one. Like I say, all the way from Black Christmas to this to Prom Night to Terror Train to Cronenberg movies. Yeah, same guy. Uh, Jack Van Elvira or something like that. But yeah, book's basically the same. I mean, it's only what 6, 7 years difference. He's like 6, 7 years older than that. Is all. Only difference is he's a little more middle aged in Black Christmas. At this point here, you can get a little more toward the older side of things. He's paranoid as hell. He gets this and finds out it's just chocolate. This came from Mabel because Mabel had a thing for the cheese. Yeah, be my Valentine, Mabel. Yeah, she had a crush on the old town sheriff. Oh, since this is the unrated version, it's Sylvia through the shower because in this version, remember, it shows it. It stands back and you show it. It shows it really good coming through the shower, coming through her mouth. That to me is one of the best kills in all of slasher movies from the payday. Hey Sean, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming through. All right, guys, don't forget to give me that thumbs up, if you would please. Oh, definitely working, definitely refugee tonight. Oh man, well, so I've been sick for about a week. It seems like, a week from today is Valentine's Day, so I gotta get my shit together by then. I can't be sick on Valentine's Day. Yeah, it's really disturbing the way, but yes, oh, it's really, really kick ass. That to me, that's the best kill in the movie. She gets shoved through that shower. The hot dog kill is not bad either. For get his face shoved in there. How much on these fucking hot dogs and shit. stuffing his face with hot dogs. His face is cooked in it. He's like the he's not a guy, but he's like a town bad boy or some shit. Dave, I think his name is in this. Yeah, hot dog. Yeah, he gets the tie out of the way. I'm not sure how old Harry Warden is supposed to be. I just always got the vibe that this guy was younger than me. Something told me. Maybe I'd been watching a bunch of them or something at that time. It told me that, you know what I mean. I've just been watching a lot of them where it had the kind of thing going to the point because they never tells you for sure throughout the whole thing, but it's Harry Warden. But you're always kind of got that who done it, who's the killer vibe. Yeah, he just he just trying to just taking a hot dog. He even made sure to clear his tie. 45 minutes in, halfway through. Film flies. I mean, it flies by. It's plenty entertaining. I said that this one you hear a lot of people bitch about a lot. They have complaints about a lot of the 80s slasher films or horror films, but this is one you never hear. I've rarely heard anyone say that. Just like you said, Cisco Lieber. But fuck them. Nobody really cares what I thought. Critic. Luckily, today in today's world, we got a whole shitload of YouTube critics, and ain't none of them Cisco Lieber. There's this dumbass, this Howard. And Howard wonders why he's always at these things by himself, and why what I mean. This guy never has a girlfriend. I wonder why, because he's always making an asshole of himself. It's like zero mojo on Howard. You know what I mean? This guy has no game because he's always being a dipshit. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Uh, like I was talking about with Ninja earlier, the remake with Jamie Presser, I think Jamie Presser. Um, I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not one of the worst remakes, but it can't hold a candle. It's not even close. A couple of Axel, man. Now, see, I disagree with that. I don't think Axel is acting so much like a jerk. I mean, she's his girlfriend now. TJ's been gone for a long ass time. He left her, didn't even tell her where he was going, and he just comes back and just starts moving in on his buddy, what's his buddy's territory now. All's fair in that. Axel didn't do nothing wrong, and he's kind of getting the fucking over now. It's actually kind of bullshit. Howard's a dipshit. Yeah, Howard's yeah. This guy's snorting coke. I mean Coca Cola, and it's like fucking around, right? I mean, playing around that's cool, but all the time that shit get on my nerve. And now TJ can still back in your arm. I'm sorry. He's such an arrogant prick, man. TJ is arrogant. Like I was saying earlier, it's like when he left, he expected she would just sit there and wait, and everybody would just roll the red carpet out when his ass comes crawling back after he fails in the big city, and then comes back. There's gonna roll the red carpet for him, Mr. Special, Mr. TJ. Mr. Mayor's kid. He's gonna come back in. His girlfriend. Everybody's just gonna be. It's gonna be just like it was. Sorry, dumbass. Shit, life moves on, man. Especially when you're not even considerate enough to let your girl know where you're going and that you're even leaving. Yeah. Critics, man. But like I was saying last night about Cisco, Eber's a little different. He's a little unpredictable. But Cisco, man, you could about guarantee he wasn't a horror movie fan. He just I don't think he ever criticized a horror movie without giving it some sort of a negativity. Even Alien. I seen him do Alien, and he even had some bitches about that. And very few people bitch about Alien. Yeah, yes, he does. As a matter of fact, yes, he does, Juno. Well, now that girl, I seen her on a thing, one playing Sylvia, and this girl did not age, man. I mean, she did not age. Her hair was blonde or whatever I do believe on the panel that I seen. He was doing a thing like at a convention. This girl did not age. Like time stood still for her, man. Like 20 years later, over 20 years later, she still looked the same. Why not? She might even look better. She mentioned wanting something, so he pulls out a rubber. He's like, yeah, I got one right here. She's like, no, I meant a couple of beers. And she's so sweet and nice. You know what I mean? You can tell she's just a sweet girl. And what happens to her is all fucked up. And so overrated stuff. Like like I was mentioning last night with Cisco. If you was a French imported movie, Cisco thought you Cisco thought you was shit, man. You was like it was like the ultimate. If you was a French movie or something like that, some sort of imported movie, it didn't matter what it was about. Cisco thought it was the shit. Ooh, the heart. And that's an actual fucking heart too. There's poor Dave in the fridge. That part right there kind of reminds me of Summer Party Massacre. When they open up the door when I think her name's Kim or whatever, and they open it up and she's in there and she kind of just hangs out there and then they shut it and they close it back in there. Dave in the fridge there reminds me of that part on Summer Party Massacre. Yeah, we're 51 minutes into it, but shit, you're more welcome to stick around for a minute, man. Silence of the Lambs on Valentine's Day. Huh? Unfortunately, yeah, I can't do watch part on Valentine's Day, man. I'm afraid somebody'd be really pissed at me if I did some dumb shit like that. So I don't want too long about it. You know what I mean? I definitely wanted to get this out first before Valentine's Day. I was just hoping that I would feel well enough, and I finally mustered it together and said, "Man, I'm just going to do it." Because I've rescheduled, I've been rescheduling shit like crazy. Yeah, experience. Yeah, it's something like that. That part comes up again. We'll look real close to see exactly what it is. It's some kind of something he stabs through him, man. It's kind of weird because it was made the same year as it's kind of got that Bay of Blood, Friday 13th Part Two aspect to it. But he definitely sticks through both of them. Here it is. Now, the girl playing Sylvia here that gets put through the shower, she was hired strictly on her scream. If she came in auditioned, he he said, "I want to hear you scream," and he hired her on her scream. There it is. Now, for years they did not show it like this. Like you go from the '70s where almost anything goes, and you come in here and real picky about giving you an R rating in early '80s. This poor guy. He's worried to see his tiny, cute little girlfriend with her face shoved through the damn, well, the back of her head shoved through the shower. That's rough, man. That's rough. Best kill of the movie, in my opinion. They're all pretty good. That's one thing a lot of people talk about with this movie. It's got some damn good kills. The pickaxe up through Happy Space, up through here, and then out the eye. Then you got the shower there. You got even the very first one, where he takes her by the shoulders and shoves her through the pickaxe. Pickaxe comes out the little heart tattoo on her chest. That's even kind of cool. But yeah, they did not show this like this. Not even close. Imagine what that would do to your mind. When I look at it, he's just like, imagine what that would do to you. I mean, he loved that chick, you know? Yeah, now that they're getting a call from that woman that he was bitching at earlier. The chick that he got a hold of, they was trying to find out about Harry Ward for getting back a hold of him now. I do believe it said 55 minutes in. Yeah, and it's getting down to it now. But I always like Lori how he played Sarah. Uh, but yeah, it's like she's a very underrated survivor. I gotta remember to call it that because I don't like Flamingo. I like back in the day when they called it Survivor. It's something I picked back up on Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Byrne. I much prefer Spud, even though the movie Final Girl is fucking great. That is so much fun. It's got just the right amount of humor, you know. Logically, oh yeah, oh it is. It's very disturbing. Yeah, he's gonna take him down the mine, but this guy being this, this Hollis being a supervisor and shit like he is, this is such a responsible move. It's like something you wouldn't see. It's like unusual. Now, I think if his girlfriend wasn't asking him to do it, I don't think he would do it because you could tell that he's a character that he doesn't look around a lot like that. So I think it's just one of those moments of weakness where he's making a very bad decision. Very bad decision. You don't do that. I mean that's a mine. That ain't no joke. And he's taking him to the old abandoned part of the mine, where where remember just 20 years ago it caved in on him, and that's why all this shit started to begin with. Was because that same, I do believe, well, in the same section, or at least close there, of the mine that Harry Warden and the other four guys got trapped in once he was eating and shit. That's the part I didn't expect when they brought up the unrated cut. I did not know anything about Harry Warden eating the dudes down there. I did not know that happened until I seen that. I thought that was really cool. Talk about disturbing. I mean, it's not a zombie movie. It's this is a slasher film. How many slasher films you see that's got fucking cannibalism going on? You didn't see that shit happening in anything but a zombie film back in the day. Jordan Malik is he did a good job on this too. Like I said, the when you really pay attention and you really realize how many of these great late 70s and early 80s horror films, these classic ones that we watch and think so highly of now were Canadian made, it just blows you away. It really does. And it goes far beyond Cronenberg. You know what I mean? Cronenberg did a lot more than just Cronenberg. Like I say, you got Black Christmas, you got Terror Train, you got Prom Night, you got this. It's been going on since 1974, 75, or even before that, because Canada helped you make them. You know what I mean? You didn't. If it was Canadian made, you didn't need money. you didn't have to have $1 million or $500,000 to make a film. It came right out of the tax dollars, the way I understand it. They helped young upcoming filmmakers, realize their dream of making film. Which is pretty damn cool. Rats, you're there's rats. I think there might be some rats down there. I mean, it's a line. There's more than that down there, I guarantee you. Bats, ooh, I hate bats. Bats are so fucking weird, man. He has that Harriet that he was hitting on from the very beginning. Name Harriet. Something I've heard Harriet. Valentine's virgin. Yeah, Valentine's virgin named Harriet. We're gonna go off and do their own thing, of course. You always gotta have that couple that wants to sneak off and do their own thing. Now Hollis, I think Hollis would have fucked somebody up, man. If he wouldn't have got the nail gun, I think Hollis would have been fucking somebody up. I think it might have ended right there if Hollis would have got his hands on. I think the killing spree might have ended quite abruptly. You can have your best, man. Bats fuck with me, man. They're just creepy shit. I mean, I had a fucked up experience when I was about 13, and it scarred me for life. Now, did anybody guess? Of course, you don't know because you don't get the scene that lets you know who it is. But did anybody suspect when they first seen this? Did anybody suspect Axel? Anybody, especially once when they call it in and they say, Harry Warden died or whatever. Did anybody start thinking, well, who could it be? At that point, if you remember correctly, in the remake, the killer's TJ. Axel Moore, like yeah, and they made TJ the killer, which is really really weird. Love the El Camino. El Camino. Love El Camino. Really cool ass vehicles in this. Let's see. You got that Chevy Camaro Super Sport. You got that one truck. Really nice truck, the charcoal gray color. And there it just showed a really badass El Camino. Nice twist. Great story, man. This has got a great story. I mean, like, how many slashers have you ever seen that has a true, really good, riveting love triangle? Where you're sitting there going, where you actually get invested in it, where you're actually like, damn, man, because up until we find out Axel is, a fucking maniac, um, you kind of feel for Axel. Axel didn't do anything wrong. Well, except for kill people, of course. But I mean, it's not like he just jumped right on his girl as soon as he took off. TJ was gone for a while, and he wasn't the only one. They were both involved in it together. She just shouldn't have done that while she was still in love with TJ. She shouldn't have, because it's kind of fucked up. And at least Axel didn't go for his girl while he was still around. He'd been gone for a while, didn't let him know where he was going or what was going on, and then they just, like I said, used each other as a shoulder, and then they ended up getting together. See, Howard's still fucking around in this closed down, abandoned part of the fucking mine. He's gonna be fucking around, hanging. He can make that shit collapse just doing that dumb shit. You'll be shutting down a mine, man. I, I'm, I'm liable to fucking eat you. I'll be the first one I eat. I'm like, your dinner, motherfucker. You get us trapped down here. I'm eating you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the twist in Scream 4, but I thought Scream 4 was pretty well done, actually. You know, and in my opinion, her cousin, there, Jill, is the best killer since Billy and Stu. And of course, you got Lori Metcalf and Billy's mom. But Lori Metcalf's always great as a psychopath. She's basically a psychopath as Jackie and and Roseanne. She was pretty much a psycho there too. Actually, she was crazier than shit then. But I just like Jill as a killer. I thought that worked out really well. Yeah, I went big on Scream 5, and I just don't like that guy, man. I don't know what it is about him. All the way back, that was a dude from Felicity, right? Oh, I hate that guy. He's such a fucking dipshit. I don't like. I don't like him. I like his face. You know what I mean? It's like I, I don't know. Wes and him kind of dropped the ball on the casting of that book. I thought Roman, yeah, Scream 3 just sucks, man. It's man, crash your Camino, bro. Just drive it, man. Just drive it. Relax. Yeah, we're having a party in the mine, and Harry Morgan started killing everybody. It's like, whoa. What do you mean he started killing everybody? It's definitely a hell of a way to put it, isn't it? He started killing everybody. Trying to stop by the old police station and grab some extra weapons and shit. I got an assault rifle in this hand. I have my pistol in this hand. Somebody's getting shot today. Like a lot. I'm killing everybody in my ass. He's not gonna be killing me. Not when I'm, you know, not with the arsenal I'm gonna bring with me to kill his ass. Yeah, yeah, they did. Yeah, yeah, but the casting. Yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, it didn't convince me. That twist did not convince me at all. I was like, I thought the franchise was over then. When I seen that, I said, well, that one's come to an end. And damn, here we are. All this, you know what I mean? To me, four was the savior. Four saved that franchise. To me, yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't hate it. I seen it once. I don't remember a lot about. I mean, I remember it, but I don't. I seen it once. Seen it that one time, like a day or so after it dropped on Netflix. The ending scene was pretty entertaining, though. Just music, everything. Yeah, she gets fucked up. Kind of put me in mind of old Trent. Yeah, when Trent gets fucking killed and stuck in the back of the truck, and the truck drives away. I thought that was a great ending for Trent. Dude, you're pictures. First of all, if I'm having sex with a chick, I'm not gonna call her dude. The last thing I think about is dude when I'm having sex. Oh, he was saying, yeah, he just stuck it right there. The truck drives away. See you, Trent. Have a nice day. You fucking jerk, dude. Good. The dude's just not a, in that situation, dude's just not a word that comes to my mind. Yeah, there's a nail gun. I do believe because Hollis was a badass, man. Hollis was a big dude. And he had TJ over here and Axel over here, and he's like, "Go on, guys, get your shit together, quit fucking around." So I think if the nail gun's not used there, Hollis might be whooping the miner's ass here. That's why he didn't fuck around with him. He made sure to use the nail gun on Hollis. He knew not to go size for size and muscle for muscle with Hollis. Not stupid. Axel, Axel, not a stupid killer. Yeah, that was like they should have sell out of it to begin with. You know, Marilyn Burns had died, and she should have been the only one to ever play Sally. Some things are just sacred. To me, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of them. Let her die being the only Sally. Let there's no reason to bring her in there like that. It served no purpose. The reason they did that was because of the Laurie shit with the Halloween trilogy. It's the whole reason that they did that shit. They had to have, my opinion, they were just, yeah, it was a bad decision. Yeah, 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 yeah. They did. Yeah, there you go. There goes Howard. See you, Howard. As long as he's a pain in the ass, but he's also a coward, man. Leaves these two chicks there, but I mean, what the fuck? Um, who's all supposed to be in that? I know what you did last summer. Any returning characters? Was all new or what? Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt or anybody in it or what's going on? Hour and 12 minutes in. If anybody's wondering, well, let's just say, like Sarah is so hampered here. She got Howard that leaves him there. And then she got this friend of hers that, you know what I mean, when they're going up that ladder, she can't even get her to move. She's like, I'm not moving any further. I'm staying right here. It's like, no, you're gonna move, man. I'm gonna crawl right over the top of you. Get the fuck up the damn thing. And Freddie Prinze Jr. are both in. I forgot they both survived. Are those two still a couple? No, wasn't they a couple? Like for real? Hmm. See, before you know, Axel's the killer here. um, because he knows damn well that's not Harry Warden or whatever coming. So he knows his TJ. That's why he squeezes it and nails him. he full intentions on nailing TJ with that fucking thing. So yeah, almost as bad. He Hulk got nailed. It's a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm, does anyone know if they're still a couple? Weren't they together? Because remember they first met doing the Scooby Doo movies, didn't they? Isn't that how they met or got together or whatever? Speaking of Matthew Lillard, Scooby Doo movies did a damn good job with Shaggy. I don't ever seen Matthew Lillard do a bad job. Actually, come to think of it, he's good about everything. Smash the control panel. Damn it, Axel, why did you break the control panel? Damn you, Axel. He just leading him around and put him where he wants. Yeah, here they go. Up this ladder. She freezes. I'm not gonna go. I'm not going up here, brother. Damn, do something. Even if it's wrong. Okay, so they were married prior to Scooby Doo. Now, are they still together? Do you know? I remember those came out. My oldest son, Drake, he Drake King, he was just little when this came out. He just loved those things. Yeah, you can't just have everybody just backing all the way back down. You know, which have to. Still married. Wow. Actual thing. Go slower, okay? And he just he's I'm stopping right here. No, you are not. You gotta suck it up, and keep moving, man. I mean, there's you don't know who the killer is. You know what I mean? Well, they don't, and I'm not gonna have them crawling right up my ass up this ladder. Oh, oh, it was hard. And then the fuck, yeah, it actually showed the head come off in this one. Showed his head. Yeah, he jerked down so hard on that rope that it jerked his head off. That's fucked up. Yeah, and there it is hanging. Oh man, it's kind of twirling back and forth. Pretty cool. Well, now they're going back down. And if you notice this, you got chickens part out when they go back down the ladder and Howard Johnson's body's out the bottom. She steps directly on his body. There she goes. Yeah, she stepped right on it. Sir did. Stepped right on his middle of his chest, man, with her heel. 4 hours. We can beat him if we can get to the real card. Come on. No a shortcut. Sure you do. you're a, oh, and he goes into the water, and you can see he's all the way down. It's like, why in the hell did he? If he fell into the water, why is he still sinking? I mean, it's a big enough run where he could have grabbed a side or something. It makes you wonder why the hell did he just let himself drown like that? Should he be splashing around or something? Unless somebody clubbed him and knocked him out and he fell in. I guess that's possible. There he goes. Ugh. Exactly the sound he makes too. And there is splash. I don't know. It just tickles me. I don't know. Yeah, it's like it wasn't nobody around knock him in there, so it's like, hell, why are you still sinking, bro? That's awful quick. Thank you for leaving the girl alone. Yeah, yeah. His head came right the fuck off, too. It was still hooked onto the onto the rope. It was just twirling around. Well, it wasn't bad at all for for early practical effect, early as far as severed heads and shit goes. Like it like tries to steer you toward TJ might be the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did you think Axel's gone? And I think that's why they did that in the remake. I think that's why they made it be TJ because he had more motive. Of course, we didn't know he had the mental. You know what I mean? The remake's got him with all the serious mental problems. He's got this freaking issue where he's the one that's seen not in the remake. Didn't when the TJ seen his dad get killed rather than Axel? Because in this one it's Axel seeing his dad killed. In the remake, I think it's Harry Warden killed his dad or something. Years back, Harry killed Axel. And the oldest closed down part of the mine. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, that respirator in it, that hose gives great breathing effects. I mean, you can hear it going through that hose. It sounds really cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. So do I. Yeah. Well, the characters are just much better. I like the actors better too. Actually, I mean, I got nothing against Kurt Smith. Who played Axel. Kurt's all right, but I do like these actors better. And they're not even nearly as well known at this time or ever. Here's where we're gonna find out that Harry Warden's dead. I do believe. I guess when we first find out that he's been dead, she just lost it. Yeah, see, TJ's kind of acting weird, and I was intended to think that it's him at this. No, because you got him running through your busting lights and shit. So no, well, the whole thing is, yeah, oh yeah, the whole thing is, all the way from Harry, munching and eating on that arm to, Mabel in the dryer to, to Howard head coming off when he gets jerked down there and the head still twirling on the rope. All of it is. Yeah, yeah, and in this one, in the end, he's actually cutting his own arm off, and it shows the killing of his father in a little more depth. Ooh, this makes you wonder about TJ because those two were fighting there in the at the party, and they're by the pool table. Well, Axel was whooping TJ's ass until Hollis came in and got them both in a headlock. That's the best thing they ever could have done for this film is bring out that uncut version, bring out the unrated version. Very, very smooth. Like, yeah, but I mean that's the only version we had for what 20 years, 20 some years. That's we didn't even know longest time. I didn't even know there was an uncut version. Once I see the uncut version, I was like, hell yeah! I've never went back. I have not seen that cut up version since I seen this. When I first seen this is my only version now. I never would have imagined if they showed Harry Warden eating on one of the motherfuckers. I never would have thought. Because they mentioned nothing about his cannibalism. That shit wasn't even brought up. I think that's crazy. That's Axel. Oh man, with a rock, that whooping TJ ass. Uh, yes, yes. Here he is killing his dad. Oh, got went into a daze. He gave him a chance to hit him. Now the whole thing's gonna cave in. Blam, blam. And his arm gets pinned, and that's why he has to cut it off so he can get away. And I love how it ends like that with him taking off down this end of the mine, and they can't get to him. It's going to be a minute before they're able to get to him because all that shit crashed down. It caved in like that. That separated them. So they could have definitely built onto it. This Harry Warden died 5 years ago. Who is it? Peter said, Axel. Oh, it was on Valentine's Day that Harry Warden killed Axel's father. Yeah, because like Axel's dad was one of the supervisors, I do believe. He was one of the dudes that left him there and helped cause all that shit to happen. But Harry Warden got revenge on him, and Axel just happened to see it. He was hiding underneath the bed. He's alive. Yeah, yeah, you can tell that it was chopped up too. Yep, you sure could. You could tell that all of a sudden he just run off this way without an arm. Bad editing. Yeah, he grabs it. Now he's got a hold of her with it, and he's cutting it off with his hand. Ooh, she pulled out. He's still got a hold. He goes, Henniger, I'll be waiting in hell for you. Harry, yeah, I'm coming. He's lost it. He's the whole fucking town is going to die. Back bastard. Gone away. And reward will make you pay. Man, I wish I could play the song. Very cool. Very cool. Still kick ass after all these years. So still one of my favorites from that time. First, it definitely is. Thanks for watching with me. I really appreciate it. It's really really cool. It's one I bring from my childhood. Like I said, I was 8 years old when it came out, and yeah. And even though I didn't feel good, I still wanted to watch it with you guys. So thanks for watching it with me. I appreciate it. But enjoy the Ballad of Harry Warden. I'm gonna go lay down and get some rest, you guys. I feel like total hammered shit. Hopefully I can feel well enough to do my arrow collection tomorrow. If so, hope you guys can join me. If not, I'll catch you guys sometime here in the near future, next few days or whatever. um, but yeah, thanks again. Much love to all you guys, and don't forget that I am GoreAphobe, and you guys are not. And I'm sure you're very glad right now because I'm sick and I need to lay down. Have a great time, you guys. You too, Gina. Have a nice night, and have a nice night, Ninja, and everybody else. And if I don't hear from you in the next couple of days, um, but I mean, I'm sure I'll talk to you before Valentine's Day. So have a great night.